In a remote village in the Chitwan Hills of southern Nepal lives a marginalized community called the Chapang people. Previously known to be semi-nomadic, they are an indigenous Tibeto-Burman group, known to be the poorest of Nepal's poor.
Namaste, I'm Susan Basnet and we are here in Ichakamana 1, former Kaule VDC, ward number 2. This place is the major habitat of Chapang people, and Chapangs are the most marginalized tribe of Nepali ethnic group. Lack of education is one of the major problems. Lack of health facilities is another problem. The geographical structure of this hill is also a challenge to the people living here because of the lack of the roads coming to this place has raised the surplus value of every goods they have to use in their day-to-day life. So that is also one of the major problems.
About 90% of the Chapang people live below the poverty line. One of the greatest challenges that the Chapang community faces is a lack of education, as less than 15% are literate. Only 1% of Chapang women know how to read and write, leading to a lack of participation in government representation. Most Chapang villages are so remote that students need to travel 3 to 5 hours a day over sloped terrain to get an education. Food scarcity is a major problem for the Chapang people 6 months out of the year. Without proper education, the communities do not have the knowledge on how to create a sustainable village, thus repeating the cycle of poverty. Building Education is a for-purpose organization, 501c3, that serves to eliminate extreme poverty through the empowerment of education. Our mission is to build 1,000 schools that spark a legacy of change in developing countries. Building Education seeks for the most vulnerable communities that suffer from multidimensional poverty and having disadvantages to health, education, clean water, energy, and infrastructure. We then work to improve livelihoods with basic necessities of access to education and water. Chile Primary School is Building Education's second school rebuild project. When we first saw the school, we realized that the school was damaged by the 2015 earthquake and was still not repaired due to a lack of funding. There was no proper restroom facility that the children could use, and there was no water source on site. Due to the lack of classrooms, multiple class grades were sharing rooms, leading to a poor quality of education.
नमस्कार, म चाहिँ यो सिराइचुली आधारभूत विद्यालयको चाहिँ प्रिन्सिपल एउटा प्रधानाध्यापक हुँ र मेरो यो यहाँ चाहिँ मैले 2055 सालदेखि नै
Building Education leverages support from the beneficiary communities, local government, and partner organizations in creating sustainability and a sense of ownership in every project. In Building Education's first school rebuild project, located behind a bus station and next to an airport in Nepal, we spent 3 years working directly with the community in learning about generational poverty. We realize that this area is what can be referred to as a squatter or slum area, essentially land owned by the government where people of extreme poverty settled on because they couldn't afford housing in the city. This is where it all started back in 2016. The school was damaged by the earthquake, and a lot of the people that settled in this poverty-stricken area were actually earthquake victims. We've seen a lot of success in this project, and we partner with other nonprofit organizations here and in the US to rebuild this center. So we moved the kitchen indoors, we moved the bathroom indoors, we expanded the halls, so we grew from 30 students to about 70 students. We were able to increase enrollment, and that was really exciting for us. We started sponsoring the Children for Education. After that, we really realized that the community needed water here. So we installed the water project here as well. We brought pipes in. The third thing was electricity. We brought electricity, which enabled the center to have Wi-Fi. The first 3 years of this project was really challenging. A lot of it was research and development. We didn't know how it was going to go, but we saw the lives of the children really change to become more empowered decision makers and to actually be able to see a new future for themselves. I truly believe that when the parents started seeing that their children were changing, they started to become empowered as well, and they started to really fight for their rights with the government on petitioning for better roads, on having access to water, access to different rights, and that's exactly what we're trying to create in this project and in future projects. We want the community members and the students themselves so that they can be the change makers that develop their own community.
Building Education has sponsored for my pharmaceutical education, and I am very thankful that they got me this chance, and I think I am very lucky that I got this chance to serve my community.
I love to go to school because there are my friends.
My name is Nandita Nepali. I read in class 4. My dream is army.
My favorite subject is environment science.
My name is Nikunj Rai. My favorite subject is math. My dream is doctor.
My hobby is dancer and my aim is nurse.
Barang National Primary School is Building Education's third school building project. Located in the rural villages of Chitwan Hills, the school hosts classes from kindergarten up to 7th grade. Damage to one of the buildings from the earthquake has caused students of 8 grades to merge classes and share 4 rooms.
As you know, that building education is always look out for the most remote and the most vulnerable areas where the education is needed. In that process, today we are in Sindhupalchok today, as Sindhupalchok is one of the most disaster-prone area declared by the government of Nepal. And in the process of research and development, we have come here, our team has come here to look out for the areas, how it is that we can be of help, what is the current status of the buildings, and how is it that we can affect and contribute to the lives and the children. As education is our mission, and we want to support where the need is urgent and is really needed.
Building Education believes in a world where every child has the equal opportunity to quality education, clean drinking water, basic infrastructure, where every child can learn, thrive, and become the leaders of their own communities, alleviating poverty for their families and future generations to come.